Hi, my name is Brenda Bates, Medicine Woman, and we're about ready to begin the show. So you hear the music, it's cueing us in. We're going to be going live in just a few seconds.
Hi, this is Jen. I'm also a medicine woman.
Hello, my name is Brenda Bates, Medicine Woman.
And I'm Jen Toffel, medicine woman. Whoever I'm talking to.
We have the video camera up as well. So we want to thank you for joining us today. If you have a question, or if you have a spiritual question, or you have anything to do with life, we can help you find the answers that you seek, or the answers that your soul is trying to tell you. Before we start the day, I do see we have some colors on the board. The one thing is I want to be able to, these are called Notes from the Universe. Pick one. And what? Now I'll go pick one more. And I want to start off by reading something. So go ahead.
Thinking big but acting small is the same as thinking small. Shiver me timbers! Reading this and nodding in wholehearted agreement, but not doing a little acting as if your dreams have come true in the days that follow is the same as not reading this.
Talk about deep. So it's important to understand that when you do think, please act. Because only you can bring it into existence. Only you, the one that can do your thinking and your dreaming for you. So be careful when somebody pimps their dream into your head and convince you that it's a good idea. Okay, so we're just going to jump right in. I'm just going to take a caller right off the bat.
Okay, I'm reloading my page.
I might have to reload my page too, because I'm not getting liftoff. Well, that's always good to know. And I am going to think and talk at the same time, as well as aim. Okay, I think I got the chat room, or not the chat room, I think I got it working. Hello, area code 480, are you there?
Yes.
Ah, good, we got through. Okay, how are you today?
I'm great.
How can we help you?
I basically wanted to know, I have a person in my life that has helped me grow.
Okay.
And a lot of ways being forward in my business. And basically, I want to know, I guess, the establish of the relationship right now. I'm growing faster, I guess faster than they thought. So it's kind of some animosity. And I've never had a person that I could not be friends with, so this is something new to me. Of jealousy. And I wanted to share in my success and try to share it with them and bring them in. But their personality is that they like to take over, and basically what I did is knock it down. And I'm trying to figure out, is there something that I need to do to try to get to their level of not trying to, I guess the best way, I don't want to feel like I'm stepping on them, or that's how they feel like they're the victim, that I'm moving forward and I'm not taking them with me.
Okay, this comes up often. Yes, it comes up often, and when a person is growing with their goal, their soul, their life, and then what happens is sometimes you have to outgrow your friends, outgrow your workers, outgrow them. It doesn't mean that you're any better than them. It's just that you're no longer in the same alignment. You are out of alignment. And one of the movies that this reminds me of is with Jack Black and I think Ben Stiller.
Yep, it's Envy.
It's called Envy. It's where they both have the idea, they move forward, but one said they're not going to do it, the other one said they're going to do it, and they become millionaires, and they want to share it with the ones that don't have it, and they end up having jealousy, hate, and everything.
Like, why are you doing this for me? You're just showing off. Instead of the other person who is genuinely wanting to say, hey, I did this and I want to share it with you.
Yes, and but it's called growing, and when somebody says to you, oh, you've changed, all that means is that you no longer fit their idea of what the friendship's supposed to be, their idea of what business is. And they didn't want you to change unless they changed with you. But they probably have no idea that they don't want to change. Some people will not grow at the same pace. So the idea of having to be okay to lose your friends is not the easiest thing in the world to do, because you have all these ethics and beliefs and values that says that, oh, you're not supposed to leave your friends behind. You can tell who your true friends are. And all these words that just become mudslinging. And what you have to do is reach inside your heart. And if the universe is telling you to go in this direction, then that should be the only person or ruler or whatever is you and that connection with your soul of moving forward. Do you understand? And no regrets about what you're choosing, because I have had to do the same. I move forward. And what's interesting is that, would they be ready to wait where you are? Chances no. So, Jen drew a couple cards. Go ahead and explain that.
So the idea is understanding the illusion. And okay, so the words that pop out to me are seeking the illusion and the need for justice.
Okay, what's interesting about this is when she throws up this balance card, justice or alchemy, it's all about change. Can you change with it? And we're asking about the person, and the card that I flipped up with it happened to be it's not worth waiting for. Meaning you could sit there and wait years, and if they're not in the same alignment with you, then you're not going to be able to achieve your dreams. It's like when my one friend told me, I'm going to save up $5,000 and then we'll get married. I says, you either act now or don't do it at all. Because sometimes waiting never gets you to where you want to go. And all I know is that with my husband, I said, okay, I'm moving forward, and it's time that you either join me or just go away. And so I made the choice that I'm honoring my soul, and, well, he joined me. But your card says, no matter how much you try to make it right, fair, loving, they're not going to do the same, because they don't see it that way. And they're not worth waiting for, because it's got to be their decision to want you. To want to be with you, want to do the same dream with you. And if they can't do it, then you're going to have to say, thank you, universe, for helping me with this relationship, whatever it may be. The second card, go ahead.
So this one about the illusion is reversed, and it says, in the beginning of all relationships, there's a time when everything's perfect. One seeks out the discovery of love and the treasures of the other, all while holding up a mirror in which beauty and perfection are reflected. There is both truth and illusion. When the Grail Knight appears, he lets you know that your own beauty, perfection, and innermost desires may be reflected in the mirror that is held up by the love of another. So if that's not happening, then that's not what's being reflected, and then you've got to break the illusion that it is there when it's not there.
Exactly. Which then tells me, with my other card that threw up was this, that somebody else is waiting. Somebody else is in alignment with you, but you can't be in alignment if you're going to hold the illusion that you have to save this one, or that, yes, that person may be worth waiting for, but are they taking the same accurate steps that you are? Are they deciding that they want to be in the game? Leadership and Self-Deception is a great book. This man was complaining that the company was leaving him behind, but he never really put himself truly involved. He said he worked 60 hours a week. Yeah, he did, but he never found out about the ins and outs of what was going on. He just expected everybody to share it with him and then give it to him, and because he's such a hard worker. Well, the thing is that if you don't fully participate, you're not going to see that you're the problem. And so in this case, this person is fine with the way that everything is, and you are now moved in a different vibration, and so you need to now line up with new friends or new workers or new helpers or whatever it is, even guides from the other side that'll actually help you. So in this case, you understand what we're saying then, right?
Oh, totally.
Okay, so you need to heal the guilt and shame that the world tells you that you're a bad person for choosing your life over what supposedly is what they call friendship. Yes, you can still remain friends, but if they don't want it and they don't share the same dream with you, then why should you stop living and live their dream? It's not your life. What am I saying? It's not your job to live their life. It's their job. So you have to live by example, and which means that if you feel the calling to do something, then you stand up within your own soul, show the strength that you need, and just start going after your dreams. And when you start living your life, you become a catalog of life. You end up showing, and that, you know, it's not that you're showing off, it's just that you're living your life, and people are going to say, how'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Hey, could you teach me? And we are supposed to live by example. Well, I know you're following your dreams, so all I can say is just say thank you to the universe, and the universe will line up the people and maybe weed some out. But if you ask for help from the universe, you'll get it, and it'll be done with grace and ease. Okay?
Oh, thank you. That was amazing.
Oh, thank you. And you have a wonderful day, and stay blessed, okay?
Thanks for calling.
You too. Thank you.
Take care.
Mm-hmm. See, and I like listening to these questions, because one of the things that I found out, becoming a spiritual human, you have all of these new dynamics, and you're breaking old paradigms, because in the old paradigm there's the right way and the wrong way, but depending on who you're looking at, everything's the right way and everything's the wrong way. So then you need to find deep in yourself that there is another core beliefs that is lined up with the universe. And all I know is that me and Jen are going and doing Giving Hope tours, what we call like living room tours. We're coming to your home, and we have a whole pamphlet and everything that tells all about it. So if you want us in your area, then just let us know. You can email us MWR@myself.com, or you can go to www.mwreveal.com. And what it is that that's a website, but I haven't got that one quite up yet, but I soon will. So just
you can also become Facebook friends with us, Medicine Women Reveal.
And we've got Twitter going on too. So we've been really busy implementing what the universe has guided us to do in our calling. Or you can go back to the old standby and go to Medicine Woman, the number 4, the letter U.com, and look at all of the emails, or the email link and all that, so you still can contact us through there, because that one's my personal page.
Look for us on YouTube. Same thing, Medicine Woman 4, the number 4, the letter U, channel on YouTube, and look at all the behind the scenes of how the radio show does and other such things.
Exactly, and I'm going to get
some
up
classes.
Yeah, I'm going to get up put up how we end up muscle testing, communicating, doing gallery readings. You'll get the gist of what we're doing, and so really getting our hands on what it is that we want for our future is our calling to help serve. But it doesn't mean we have to serve and live by everybody else's dream. This is our soul's calling. This is in alignment with the universe. So,
you know, something that was brought up for me on the last caller was the idea you were talking about, how we're moving into new paradigms and that type of thing, is the idea of leaving friends and kind of breaking up with friends or reestablishing friendships. And someone said to me, because of a current situation in my life, well, how is leaving going to be solving your situation? It looks like you just have a pattern of leaving.
And see, those are the words that come up when you are in the human mindset, because you're going to have both sides of the coin, positive and negative, and then we have to answer to those questions. But when you live into this becoming a spiritual human, the thing is that what do we do different is we look at what is causing us trouble. We look at the cause, connect the dots, then we heal the cause, which then allows our true identity, which is our spirit, to shine forth. And we don't have to answer to no one except for the universe.
And to honor that, and that may mean leaving toxic friendships or relationships, and then therefore the people in the human mindset say, oh, well, you just leave all the time, da-da-da-da-da, where it's, well, I've recognized that this is toxic and it's unhealthy and it's not doing me a bit of good to answer my calling and to serve the people that I'm supposed to serve if I'm going to be in that kind of toxic environment. It's not going to do any good.
When people say that to you, guess what? Say that is correct. And I listen and I follow with my heart. Because these people probably have been left many times, and they don't understand because it's probably never been their fault. One of the things about becoming a spiritual human, you learn about the cause and effect of relationships, the cause and effect of who you are. You are always the cause and you're always the effect. You will always be. This isn't about blaming anybody. This is about looking at where you're losing your personal life force and where is it that you got thrown off center of love and it stops you from letting love back in, and all of these things that people say that can be hurting, or just inquiring questions that can be very hurting, are also your reflection, your mirror, that's saying you've lost power somewhere, and that you either got to punish yourself for it, or you have to correct yourself and get back into the old paradigm of, wait a minute, that's the way it's supposed to be. All I can tell you is that when you start healing your hells, the most gratifying thing is noticing that the traumas, the dramas, the issues, the hells do not sit there and control you, haunt you, or force you to become something that the world tells you that you're supposed to be. You were born to stand out. You were born to take and change the patterns of history instead of repeating them. So it's important to just start understanding to move forward. Moving forward in the direction that you need to. Now I feel like we need to grab another note. We had that one, right? So we got books. I got books by Mike Dooley here, and Notes from the Universe. This one. Oh, jeez. Of course, I get a great, big, huge one. Oh, look at me complaining. I need to heal that.
That was shorter.
Right, but I want you to... okay, what's funny is the one I'm going to read in a minute is Well Enlightenment. Well Enlightenment. And the one that that I just showed an example about was, it totally flips me out. People talk to me, they ask me stuff, they show me things, yet so rarely do they ever expect a reply. Am I invisible or something? And that's funny. Because what happens is that what flips us out is that our first judgment. So we gave you a live example. I open the page up and there's astronomically long. Now, what's important to understand is how I compared that. Compared it to what? It'll be compared to whatever it is in the past.
It could be compared to this book. That's short compared to this whole entire book.
Yeah, that book was 700 some pages. This is like one page. But what's interesting is that it relates back to when I was in school and I had a hard time reading out loud. So I go back to an old program, which can be healed, which is very nice. So what I'm going to read is, well, enlightenment is a kind of like flying for the first time without wings. Of course, there's the exhilaration, the happiness, and the intoxicating sense of freedom that almost indescribable. But there's also the subtle shock at what you now see as the inevitable of your accomplishments. The wonderment of how you hadn't seen this so clearly before, mingled with acceptance. And the dim recognition that it's part of some distant agreement you once made. And at last, as you come to your senses and finally think to gaze below upon the tiny jewels you've called home for so long, you're struck with a jolt as you see it is so magically and effortlessly suspended, floating in space, and you realize for the first time that even there you were flying all along. Up ahead, there's a tree coming right at you. Be careful! So what's interesting is these deep thoughts, is that you are flying without wings. You were doing it and you didn't even know that you have. And once you notice that you have been doing it, be careful, because you're still creating your future. So we do not want you to run into a tree. So, George of the Jungle. Talk about association games. Alright, is anything going in the chat room? We want to say hello to everybody in the chat room. And looks like we have a nice full house. We pray for more. That's always good. If you got questions, that's great. I see a compliment. Thank you. So, again, if you have questions, that would be awesome. Now, what's interesting is every day there are horoscopes that are out there designated for the day that you were born, or designated for the month, and or a sign. Like, supposedly I'm Cancer or Leo, depending on which date it is. And
me too.
You too. And what's interesting is that how the universe speaks to you, and as a spiritual investigator, you don't analyze everything, you analyze things that stick out. So I got today that somebody sent me that since I was a Cancer, since it's April 9th, which is today, the interesting thing is the thing about power of suggestion. I woke up and I could have fell victim to my circumstance of, what do you call, a bad night's sleep. And I could have dwelled upon it. But I laid there this morning going, huh, that was that night. Today's a new day. I actually feel refreshed. I'm so annoyed laying here, I'm going to get out of bed. So I got up and started my day, and it feels pretty good. I'm happy. I'm excited. I got some cleaning done. I got some organization done to prepare for today's show. But if I didn't understand that, I must consider the source. That is the number one thing that people need to understand. Consider the source.